Hello, welcome to Play Ratings. Today, Lou and I were discussing yesterday's fantastic 2-0 away win at Craven Cottage, where both Lou, myself, and D were at the game. Um, Different setting today, so I apologize for the lack of graphics, etc. But I'm in London, I'm at my nephew's house, and I don't have ability to kind of move stuff around. But Lou, saw you yesterday. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I just finished work and the early start felt good after that performance on that day. Yeah, it was away days don't normally get that perfect. Um, we met at Victoria, bumped into Rich and JC and the others from Eagle Eyed,
Shout
had a
out to
drink
them, yeah.
there. Then got the tube down to Fulham, Putney Bridge, went to Temperance Pub where we saw Nick. A few other people were coming up to you saying how much they liked the pod. Then you met all my dad and his friends, and it was just
Yeah,
a good
really nice
vibe.
people. Yeah, it was.
Um, Loads of Palace fans in a pub. Watched the early kickoff. Yeah, and then strolled to Craven Cottage through the park and watched us destroy Fulham. It don't normally don't get better than that for away days.
Nah, as I told people who listen to the show, I didn't get to go a lot of away days as a kid. So I've been to a lot more as an adult, and yesterday was right up top. It was a top. It was a great game. So I
Mhm.
really appreciate you getting me the ticket for one, and you and D for the company. It was a great time. Really have a great
Yeah,
time.
D was late as well. I got him a ticket at the last minute the day before, and I was like, "You got to
Uh,
come, man." And D will act like he didn't have the time in his life, but he definitely did.
100% he did. Again, once again, would appreciate all your support. Again, people that came up to me yesterday to say hello. Appreciate everyone who watches the show. If you could please give us a like, subscribe, we really appreciate it. Let's get into the ratings because again, I'm at a location where my wife might not be too great, so I don't want to stay on too long. But let's start with the goalkeeper, Dean Henderson. We both gave him a 7. I'll go quickly first. Um, 8th shutout of the season. Um, Passing was actually pretty good, 20 out of 30. Long ball, 7 out of 17. That was good, but he didn't have a save to make. He had no saves to make. So credit to him, man. You know, they had 10 shots not on target. Clean sheet, I'll give him credit, but no saves. But
Mhm.
anything to add on Henderson?
No, that's about it. I see him tweet after saying how much he loves his team, and they've got a formidable partnership, the back three and the goalkeeper, and it's just it's a joy to watch, man. Yeah, I'm happy he doesn't have. I would prefer every game he didn't have anything to do.
I agree. It's always the best. Let's go on to start left wing back, Ty Mitchell. Like we both gave him an 8, coming off a very tough game against Everton. So do you go ahead first? How do you think Ty
Yeah.
played yesterday?
So when I criticize players or we give criticism, I gave him a 0.5 last week. Obviously, it was in jest. It wasn't completely serious, but I said in the preview that every player deserves a chance of redemption, and that's what he provided himself, the manager, and the team today. It was just the first half. I watched the extended highlights back on Sky yesterday, and I did. At first, I gave him a 7, and then I watched it again, and I was like, this guy was bombing forward. Those inside crosses to Eze. Even there was a
Eze,
moment. There's a moment where he lost the ball in like a dangerous position, and he fought his life for about 2, 3 more tackles just to win that ball back. And you could see how much effort and how much he cared yesterday. Yeah, that shows real mentality because that was on Sky Sports yesterday. It was for everyone to see, and he bounced back against one of the most physical, quickest players. Castagna's not a bad right back as well. Adama didn't have a sniff all game. Yeah, fantastic performance from Ty.
yeah, I can't really add that much. The stats don't really tell the story because he's only 15 out of 22 passing. But he did have 2 clearances, 4 recoveries, interception. And you're right. For our defensive work, he was so good against Adama Traore, who, me personally, I don't really rate him. I think he's a speed merchant. His end product is terrible, but didn't matter.
Mhm.
Ty shut him down. Castano the same way. And you're right. Getting forward, he played a couple of balls into Mateta, a ball into Eze. But yeah, he was very good. And I'm glad, like I said in the preview, I want him to give a chance for redemption. Don't bomb him out of the squad right away. Chilwell's an excellent player, but again, Ty was brilliant yesterday, so credit to him.
Mhm.
Next player, Daniel Munoz. 8.5 or 8.5 from me, 9 from you. I'll go first. I know you're gonna talk about him. Great. Stats wise, passing wasn't great, 52%, but 51 touches, 3 recoveries, 3 out of 7 ground duels, 5 touches in the opposition box. At one point, when I talk about how I love his pressing, he and Mateta were both pressing Leno first half. It was brilliant. Phenomenal defending, I thought, versus Iwobi that whole game. Iwobi, I thought, was very dangerous. And then we just go to the goal because that's why it gets to me the high score. Now, the good thing about that goal, it was the end that we were behind, so that was great. So he gets that. We're going to get to Mateta, and what a play. What Mateta, the move on those two midfielders was brilliant. The ball to Mateta, from Mateta, Munoz is so good. But what's underrated to me is that both Eze and Sarr make runs that draw defenders. So when we get the ball, he has the option. 2 different runs, right? To draw their attention. So he has the option. Do I cross the ball? Or what he did was sits down Basley and hits a brilliant shot. And where we are, you can hear the net bulge from behind it. And the celebration and the part with Mateta. Listen, he was great yesterday. Redemption for him, like we said, from Everton. But go ahead, Lou. Your thoughts on Munoz yesterday?
Yeah, because people think I call Munoz out a lot. I get comments on whatever, or people saying this and that. But the only thing I ever called him out on is the quality in the final third. And I feel sometimes he's been rushed. And that moment yesterday, he took time. It was a fake shot. He was relaxed in the box. He was relaxed. And that's all I've wanted for. And the reason why there's so much riding on his output is because Mitchell doesn't provide what he provides on the left-hand side. So it's like, it's a bit unfair because I'm asking him to do everything, really defend and really attack.
Exactly. I understand.
But he gets in so many dangerous positions. There's just sometimes I like a bit more quality. But like I've always said, he is perfect for us. I rate him very highly. Yesterday was really good, even though like he lost the ball 18 times. Just above 50% possession isn't great, but like we said, the stats don't show a game. Yesterday he was quality. Nothing came down his side. The energy, he was a threat. I actually thought the more important, he didn't stop Iwobi. He pushed back Robinson.
Right.
So I even said in the preview, I didn't think he would get much change out of Robinson. He didn't get much out of him 1v1. Which I wouldn't expect him to beat in 1v1, but his chaos just stopped Robinson from being able to push forward. And obviously Richards behind him was quality as well. Listen, like I said, if I can give Munoz a low score and criticize him when I think he should do better, when he does well and above my expectations, I'm gonna praise him. I would love for him to hopefully that gives him confidence in the next 10 to 12, 15 games, depending on the FA Cup, to get more goals like that and provide even more attacking threat. But yeah, unbelievable from Munoz.
Yeah, just to end off, in 25 Premier League matches, he has 3 goals, 3 assists. I mean, he's been great. And we mentioned yesterday when we were traveling up, he leads the Premier League in tackles, which is amazing. So he's having a great season. So shout out to him. Let's go actually to Chris Richards next. I gave him a 7.5. You gave him 8.5. So I'll let you go first. Your thoughts yesterday on Richards? Well, I think he's playing really well in that back three.
Yeah. So obviously last week I gave like harsh scores. So today I'm feeling nice today. I thought he was really solid. The one area that we really want to improve on with Richards is his passing, and I thought that was much better yesterday. Nothing came down his side. He had Iwobi. Smith Rowe was coming out to that side, and Robinson. Listen, it was a faultless performance, I think. And I think we bullied Fulham. I spoke to you about this yesterday. I watched it back. Every tackle was like 100%. We were aggressive. They tried to play. Anderson wanted to play those balls into the front man, into the half spaces between our defence and our midfield. They wanted to play those big diags, and every single ball, every defender was aggressive. They was winning the first balls, winning the second balls. Listen, no shots on target, no mistakes. Yeah, 8.5 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, I love that term you just used, bullying, because I can talk about all 3 parts of the pitch, and I think Lacroix bullied Jimenez. I think Hughes bullied the midfielders, and I thought Mateta bullied Anderson. So you're right, that's a great way of saying it. And Richards, again, he didn't allow anything yesterday. Real quick, you're right, talk about his passing, same 7%. People have to understand, and I'll always say, he's not a great passer. During the match, you heard me say, Chris, play it short. Chris, get rid of the ball. Chris doesn't like the ball, but Chris is an excellent defender. He can tackle. He knows what he's good at. He's a good defender. And if he works on his passing, he'll be probably go back to Bayern, which is not going to happen all season. I mean, so I know what his limitations are. Part of a clean sheet, 6 clearances, 3 out of 5 aerial duels won. I thought he played really well yesterday. But go ahead. You want to?
I have a little theory that have you realised we do build up quite a lot through Richards, and I feel like Glasner's using the fact that teams think Richards a weak link to play out to then that triggers their press to then create space on the other side. I don't know, it might be a theory, but I feel like there must, because we rarely really build out straight from Henderson to Gahey. It normally goes Lacroix, Richards, and then you see the team press, and then we kind of get out that way. Hughes pulls out. So I don't know, that might be a thing. I think he's underrated on the back. So I think yeah. Do you want to pause it? I just got lost there for a second. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead again.
And where Gahey and Lacroix are so good on the ball, sometimes we might think Richards is really bad, but we just got 2 really good ball playing centre halves. So yeah, like you said, much improved. And listen, Chalobah's now injured at Chelsea. Everyone's forgot about him.
Amazing. Yeah. Move on to Mark Gahey, 8.5 from both of us. I don't have much to say about him except that he was brilliant again. I mean, I feel bad because I feel bad. I don't really have anything to say about him. He's so what's the word you always use about him? He's just solid. Yeah, he's just an 8 out of 10. You say every time, right? 8 out of 10. Right.
8.5 out of 10 even. Like
right. I mean,
so consistent.
Passing wise, he misplaced 2 passes, 94%, 29 out of 31, 48 touches. 3 clearances, 3 interceptions, 2 recoveries, 4 out of 8 ground duels, 1 dispossessed twice. But again, you didn't really see that. But I thought he was so good. We're gonna get to his other part in Lacroix in a minute. But I thought Gahey, a part of the back 3 again, another clean sheet was really good. But what are your thoughts on Mark?
94% pass completion
for centre back. Yeah, exactly.
All 3 of our centre backs weren't dribble past once.
Yeah,
and we're playing against a ball carrying side with a Iwobi, Adama, and Smith Rowe, and none of our centre backs would dribble past once.
Yeah.
Do you know what as well is a bit underrated for Gahey? That's he's a bit of a shithouse on a sly, because when we scored,
he kicked the ball into the
he kicked the ball into the stand. Yeah, laughing at him.
I saw that. I couldn't believe that's so funny. Yeah, I saw that too. Yeah.
And at the end of the game, he looked like he was pissed off about something as well. So listen, he is so aggressive. Whenever he comes forward and steps in, he just wins every single ball. Yeah. What more can I say? I say every ratings we do, it's one less game. I'm appreciating every game goes by. Even I was thinking today, I was like, I'm never after next season, I'm never going to see Mark Gahey in a Palace shirt again. And
I can't do that. Yeah, I don't want to do that. I know what you mean. Yeah,
like,
I know what you
mean. What a player! Like, I don't even know. Can we call him a legend? But I just know probably there won't be many better centre backs that will ever play at Palace again. I think.
Excellent point, and I think he'll go in the category of Olise and Wharton, different positions, obviously, of players who play for Palace. You're going to say, like, wow, can't believe he was a Palace player 5 years ago. He'll be, winning everything in Europe or whatever. So you're right. It's a great shout. Next, Maxence Lacroix. He was my man of the match. You have someone different, which is fine. And we had a hard time picking it. I gave him a 9. You gave him a 9. And he was absolutely superb. So I want to go first because I want to point out a couple of things that happened during the game. Then I get to the stats. Obviously, the first goal, he heads the ball. Tricked us all. I thought he headed it and got the goal. It came off of Anderson's head. Who cares? Great job by him. But we mentioned before, he absolutely bullied Jimenez the whole game. He was fantastic. And then, what was it? Late first half, the run that he makes on Jimenez to close down the 5-yard gap. Not only did he tackle him, no foul in the box, and the ball goes to Henderson. So it wasn't even gave up a corner. Actually, that was in the second half. It was second half. In the first half, actually, I want to go back to that. Remember, he made like 3 or 4 blocks. We were right in front of it. He kept making a block after block up for corner, just blocking everything.
He was effortless as well.
It's ridiculous. He makes it look so good. So let's go to the stats real quick. 29 out of 33 passing, 88%, 55 touches, 12 clearances, 3 recoveries, 3 out of 4 tackles won, 5 out of 5 ground duels won, 2 out of 2 aerial duels won. And you probably have more stats. His stats are ridiculous. He was so good yesterday, but I'm done now. Your thoughts on Maxence? yesterday.
Yeah, he's a massive reason why we're such a threat from set pieces as well, because he's an absolute unit. I've noticed if you watch the goal back, uh, why Fulham were complaining is Mateta blocks the keeper,
He
Sarr
always
creeps,
does that. Yeah,
and he does the nudge on Anderson,
yeah,
and that
threw him off
little
a little bit.
nudge.
Yeah,
So you can see like the set pieces are working, and Glasner every game has said he's obviously not involved in the set pieces. He says I thank my set piece team because they're the
yeah,
ones. I think we're even closer to Arsenal now. We're quite clear in second. I said it before the goal that we looked a threat from set pieces straight away. There's variations. There's short corners. There's ones to the back stick. There's ones fired right under the keeper, and I definitely think we targeted Leno yesterday because Leno didn't look very comfortable coming to collect. He was quite stuck on his line. But yeah,
yeah.
Lacroix, that recovery tackle to me was a bit of a, that moments in games, it kind of changes because that was the first time they really got in and he just cleared up. And then I was like, it was kind of a bit of a downer for them. And
Right.
it, I thought they brought on Muniz quite late. Yeah, there was just yesterday, nothing was getting past that three. I don't think anything was going to trouble them.
I mean, when you don't allow, and again, Glasner at the post match did mention that it was not just the defense, but obviously from the front with the
Yeah,
Sarr,
yeah,
Mateta. But when
yeah.
you don't get a shot on goal, I mean, forget it. It's been a great performance by
Yeah.
everybody. So,
And that's that. I think that's the
next,
first time you've got to experience Lacroix at the end of the game. He loves
that was
it.
great. I enjoyed
Yeah.
that. I enjoyed that a lot.
Mhm.
Next, let's go to my midfielders. Jefferson Lerma. When you go first, I gave him a 6.5. You gave him a 7. When you go first on Jefferson?
I think he he was a really good away centre midfield performance. He probably was of a great performance. He wasn't one that stood out. There was a few passes in the first half that were really lackluster, underhit, overhit, shanked. He did play one really nice long pass over to Mitchell, but again, he battled really hard. I feel like he did help Hughes off the ball. He was aggressive. Yeah, I think it was just a solid performance. Again, I wanted Wharton to start. When I saw the lineup, I was a bit like, but then you get in that mindset saying if Glasner's picking this team, there must be a reason. If we're going to give Mitchell a chance at redemption, then shouldn't we give Lerma the chance at redemption? I'd
Agreed.
much rather Lerma sit out the next game, not off the back of a really bad performance that his confidence goes. So yeah, he got it right. Again, when that Wharton came on and you started seeing what can happen when a midfielder can really move the ball quickly with quality, it's night and day.
Yeah. You're right. Again, that's a coach's mentality. When I coach, I was the same way. I never wanted to like punish a kid who had a bad game. I'm sure you're the same way. I want them to kind of fight their way through it. So you're absolutely right on that. Funny thing is, for me, Lerma's game is more. So that's one thing, by the way. I want to say, being at the game and then watching it back is so different than just watching it on TV. At the game, I thought there were things about his game that I liked, but the stats didn't really show me that. Like you just said, he really helped in the midfield. His stats aren't great. 70% passing. 40 touches, but he had 6 passes into the final third, which I didn't know. He had 4 recoveries. He's always very good defensively. And I know remember that you talked about corner kicks, second half. Hughes corner, the header that was saved, and then that great volley by Lerma over the bar. That was blocked, sorry, and went for another right. So
this is what I mean about the set pieces, because we had the similar one with the bicycle kick at home. So you can see that there is a plan. Why they know exactly where to stand because it's falling to the right places, and that was going top corner.
It was going top corner from where we are. We can see it. Yeah. And the only thing I'll say about Jefferson's passing, just limit it. Don't try the long balls. Play the balls 5-10. He's much better at that than trying to go long. But he was solid yesterday. But
and that was
even more.
Sorry, last week when I couldn't get the word of how he passes, and someone put it in the comments.
What was it?
Very telegraph.
Yes, that's the word.
You know what he's going to do. Disguise on it.
Yeah. There you go. Exactly. Yeah.
Shout out to the person who put that in the comments as well.
Yeah, and again, drop your comments. We love the comments. We read them. So thank you for feedback. His midfield partner, Will Hughes, 8 from me, 8.5 from you.
Mine's a 9 because he was my man of the match.
All right. You know what?
Yeah, because I had.
Then I'll change it. Your man of the match. Pass the website man of the match. I'll change it while you're talking about it. Go ahead.
Yeah. you know what? D was saying in the first half he thought Hughes was man of the match. When we walked out, my dad thought Hughes was man of the match. Maybe I was leaning to Ebbs because it was just so good to see Ebbs being Ebbs, and I feel like he was a real threat in the first half. Then I watched the highlights back, and boy, he was his first time passing, his two-touch passing, his Premier League nous, his experience, his set pieces, his pressing, his ability to read the game. What was the word that Glasner says him and Wharton have? I forgot the word again. Just their IQ. They know where the ball's going to go, where it should go, and the fact that this guy was brought as a squad player and he kind of was a bit of a forgotten man. And boy, every time he steps on the pitch, you're thinking, how is he doing this? I thought it was unbelievable yesterday. Listen, perfect away performance. He was aggressive. Passing was great. You can't get more complete centre midfield performance in terms of winning the ball back and giving it to the players who can create. There was even that time when we got the free kick that Ebbs took in the first half. Just the experience to know to let the ball run, just let the ball do the work, and they pulled him back. I think it was Lucic brought him down, and it was just like, I know those little things might go under the radar, but to me they're really underrated things. And his set pieces were brilliant yesterday.
Yeah, I really rate Lukic and Berg as a midfield too, and I thought that both Hughes and Lum were very good. What about Hughes? You must have watched the same highlight package me, because that's what they kept mentioning about. He's so good 1 and 2 touch passing. It is underrated.
His pre-orientation.
That's what Glasner used. Him and Wharton exactly had that. Right, they see things before they happen. They know what. Yeah, it's brilliant. I mean, stats wise, 74% passing. 6 passes into the final third, 2 blocks, 3 clearances, 2 interceptions, 7-11 ground duels, 1. The ball to Eze that was played to Mateta for the offside goal he started it. You're right, on corner kicks, the goal, obviously, the volley by Lerma. Every corner he took was very dangerous. He was really good. Again, not my man of the match, but it's not because he didn't play well, because I thought Lacroix was impervious. But no, watch him in person. I really was impressed by Hughes. He really, again, he bullied their midfielders. It was really good to see. Next we'll go. Go ahead.
I definitely didn't get why he got the name of like the albino Perlo. Like he's like a he's like a terrier with grace. Like
and again, very underrated technical abilities. I remember in that derby, he was supposed to be really, and you're right, he's a really good player. Next, Ismail Assar, both give him a 7. I'll go first. I thought he was better in the second half. But you were mentioning it during the game, how he needed to run into space. He started doing it in the second half, running wide, creating opportunities for space for Mateta to run into, for Munoz to go around him. 5 recoveries, 3 assist ground duels. I thought he really helped create opportunities and really bothered like Anthony Robinson, for instance, on that side, because it was a real problem. I thought he had a really solid game. Not spectacular, no assists, no goals. But again, the part I want to go back to is the goal by Munoz. He makes that run into the box. He creates issues. He makes teams have to mark him. But I thought Sarr was solid. Your thoughts on Sarr?
Yeah, not really much to add to that. There's I think Sarr's one of the only players who can, just his presence causes chaos for other teams, because he's probably one of the fastest players in the Premier League. Also one of the most powerful players, because he's 6'2", strong, quick. He just scares opponents. So I think the fact, if he takes up good positions, opposition players are less likely to push up, or like someone like Robinson, he might not push up as far because he knows that he won't recover in if the ball gets turned over. Again, he didn't have any outstanding moments. There was one time where when we were speaking, sometimes I'd rather him kick the ball, chase after the ball, and not
run it,
dribble with it as much.
It by.
Yeah. Because if he can just get that first touch out of his feet, no one's going to catch him. But again, no complaints. I love the way he's utilized. Obviously, you can see that he runs a lot, so Glasner takes him off 75 minutes.
Good sub by you. Now we're going to go to Ebbs next. Just to be fair, I just changed it. I actually had him down as the 8, but I made it 8.5 because I watched it again, and you gave me 8.5 too. I want to go first then because I got a lot of mine with him. But let me tell you something. The old Eze is back, and I want to give some examples I'm talking about. There was the shot that he had from the ball from Mitchell. There was the standoff that he had with Anderson. We just stand there and just like, all right, what do you want to do? You know, the confidence back. He's driving the ball forward. He was so good yesterday. He really was. I mean, stats wise, had the most dribbles in the game in 4, 86% passing, 4 shots in total. Again, his shooting is back. 57 touches, 5 passes into the final 30, took 4 corners, 5 recoveries, 6 out of 9 ground duels. So he's working well defensively. It was so great to have him back. And even though I wasn't happy that Wharton didn't start because I think Wharton and Eze are another level, having that Eze by himself, though, playing that way is a major factor. And I thought that was a big reason why he won yesterday. Your thoughts on Ebbs?
Yeah, listen, I thought he was good just being there, but then I watched it back again. He was just, listen, that's the Ebbs that we've all been waiting to see. Just the confidence, the glide, the drops of the shoulder, the confidence that I knew when he took that shot early doors where he hit about 28 yards, and I was like, yeah, he's definitely.
Yeah, you're talking about the shot that was parried, right, by Leno on that free kick we were talking about in the stands, right? That one?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So
yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, yeah. I just saw the confidence to take that shot. I was just thinking, yeah, he's definitely in the mood today. The one thing that I knew it looked like a good move when it happened. JP disallowed goal. Then when I saw what he done on
the
Sky,
the
back heel, the audacity, the weight of it, it was perfect.
Yeah.
And Glasner said he had to retreat, get treatment at halftime. Yeah, man. Listen, if we get these versions of all these players for the rest of the season, like it could be a really good end to the season.
A long day for the opponents. Last starter, JP Mateta. Why don't you go first? Because I thought he was great. We both gave him an 8, so you go first.
These centre backs must hate playing against this guy. You even saw quickly. I'm going to go to the end of the game where he sticks his arm in Bassey's face. It's a 90th minute, and Bassey just absolutely loses his mind. That is someone who has just had a torrid day, and there's just all the emotions just poured out. But let's just talk about that run. He's like a man possessed when he gets going. He skips past Pereira. He nutmegs Kearney. And then he just plays this ball with the outside of his foot perfectly into Munoz's path. Like I don't even understand where this playmaking abilities come from, the pace, the power. Like, listen, I keep saying, I've been saying it for weeks and weeks and weeks. Give this. I don't know if they've sorted the contract talks because he looks quite happy. I don't know whether they've said like, listen, you're going to get this and that. But I do not want to cash in on this guy. You can't. I'm even in the sense of even if he didn't want to sign a deal, I'd be like, listen, you can go for free in 2 years. I'm keeping you. Because we spent 10 million for him. We can't let this guy go. This guy is he's in the top 10 European strikers at the moment. Like, teams would kill for Mateta. I don't know. I think he really suits us, and he performs when he's really happy. You can see he's kind of been given the freedom to do what he likes around the training ground. He's been given that license to be himself. Right. And I just love him. I love the way he imitates all the celebrations. Yeah, man. I love the guy, man.
Yeah. Again, the highlight for me was the run. I mean, for a midfielder to do that, I would have been like, wow, what a midfield run. But for a striker to do that, one who people thought didn't have that level of ability, is amazing. It's a real shame that goal didn't count because it was such a beautifully worked goal and a great shot. He deserved that. But the assist, again, you said the assist outside of the foot to Munoz. I mean, he got 2 assists, but 15 goals this year. He deserved the goal. He was brilliant yesterday. I don't even know what to add. And then celebration. And now you sent us the video. Where did he come from? And where is he? Like, did he just come out of the ground? Like, also, I see him at Munoz's feet. It's the funny thing I've ever seen in my life. But he was so good yesterday. Just brilliant. He deserved the goal. Was fantastic yesterday. I mean, or he said fantastic. Brilliant by JP. Real quick, let's go to the subs. There's not a lot to talk about except for one. So let's do him first. Adam Wharton, 7.5. I'll go first because I couldn't believe when he was on the pitch. In a space of like 3 minutes, he made a switch the ball to the left, switch the
Yeah,
ball to the right, won a header, and tackled someone. Like I'm like, it was forget stats. He was on that pitch. He was brilliant, and I still like what Glasner's doing. As far as bringing him on slowly, but when he starts, him and Hughes and Ebbs, trouble. But he was brilliant
yeah.
yesterday in whatever 15, 20 minutes cameo was really good. But I know you love him, so you go next.
Listen, I think I love Elise, but there's just something about this kid, man. Just and you look at you was in the away and you look around and people are
Yeah,
just stunned by it.
everyone.
That
Yeah,
it doesn't even make sense how he's so good. And I remember I've got a few friends like who support Arsenal and this and that. And from after 2-3 games I saw this guy play, I said this guy is £100 million player. Easy, easy £100 million player. He is ridiculous. He can do everything, and it looks so effortless. He just plays with a smile on his face. Like he plays like I don't understand it. He could be playing under 21 football. He could be playing at the park with his friends. Like he's unbelievable, man. Like I just can't wait to see him in full flow.
yeah, it's gonna be a fun time for us. Bad for the opponents.
Mm,
Only episode that had a real impact as far as
mm,
time wise was Kamada. We both gave him a 5. Real quick, I just thought that um, at first I've actually not the first time. One of the few times I've actually seen him in person, and I can see that the crowd gets kind of ant when he doesn't make every pass or whatever. But he definitely seems like he needs to adjust to the Premier League from the physicality standpoint. He gets knocked to the ball quite a bit. He's not as strong as he should be. His passing wasn't great, 6 out of 9. But he's helped see out the game. I mean, he had to get a clean sheet. I don't think it was poor, but I think he could have been a bit better. But what are your
mm.
thoughts on Kamada in a very short time he was on the pitch? Well, 15 minutes, 20 minutes he was on.
Yeah, it wasn't really much going on. You can be a bit stronger in the tackle, but yeah, it's hard to get up to the speed of the game. I'm not gonna comment really on how we done it. Wasn't really much to talk about, but yeah.
Fair. Real quick, Devaney,
Mm,
nothing. Again, both he and
sure.
Chua had 3 touches for like 3 minutes, but again,
Mm,
throughout the game. Lastly, the manager. You gave him a
mhm.
10. I gave him a 9.5. And what I will say is this: oops, sorry about that. So, sorry, technical difficulty. We're sorry. Alrighty. So Glasner, 9.5 from me, 10 from you. Basically, I thought lineup I would have liked Wharton to start, but after that, everything was perfect. Tactically, set up great. Love the way he used Eze, push minutes up the pitch. The way that Lerma and Hughes worked together. The game plan was great. The subs I loved. Getting the venison minutes, getting Chilwell on as a 10 was different, but it works. So you're getting more minutes on the pitch. Kamada was fine, I thought. And we mentioned about Warren, how good he was when he came on. But really quick, Lou, before we lose the recording, again, sorry about the ending. Your thoughts on the manager?
Yeah, when people asked about the 2-0, I predicted 2-0. I said when Glasner loses, he normally bounces back with a vengeance. He hates losing it. He already said it plays on his mind. I know he would probably have drilled really into the players what he wants. And the fact that when you get a performance like Everton, and then you get a performance like that, you see how much trust the players have in this manager. I also like the little shush to Marco Silva. I think he just tactically outdone Silva completely yesterday. Yeah, brilliant. Just yeah, fantastic. Let's hope he can finally get his home win on Tuesday.
Yeah. But that's it for me and Lou for the play ratings again. Sorry about the ending of the technical part. My Wi-Fi here isn't great. English Wi-Fi, American Wi-Fi is not the same. Great 2-1 win. Great to see Lou and D. We're going to be doing a preview show for the Villa game. Look for it, I think, tomorrow, Monday. I'm not really
Yeah.
sure when D's going to do it, but look for that. And we're doing, obviously, a match reaction. Lou and I will be doing ratings, I'm assuming, for that. But, again, thanks for your support, everyone. And until next time, up the Palace.